I'm joined now by my pack, TalkTV's international editor, Isabel Oakeshott, and TalkTV contributor, Paula Rhone-Adrien. I want to play a clip. This is King Charles at the Mansion House of the City of London yesterday, talking about modern-day discourse, how we talk to each other. Let's take a listen.
Even in the most fractious times, when disagreements are polished, paraded and asserted, there is in our land a kind of muscle memory that it does not have to be like this, that the temptation to turn ourselves into a shouting or recriminating society must be resisted, or at least heavily mitigated whenever possible, especially in the digital sphere, where civilized debate too often gives way to rancor.
You know, it really struck a nerve with me because I've been doing a lot of pretty contentious interviews since October the 7th. And they've been getting huge numbers of views online, in particular, around the world, on YouTube. 10 million watched the Bassam Youssef interview, for example. Ben Shapiro, 6 million and so on. But that's led to an absolute avalanche of abuse and threats and everything else. Whatever you say, right? Because on both sides, there are a lot of extremists who will not tolerate any deviation from their worldview of this.
Yes.
And obviously, it's historic, its passions run high. The worldview is very fractured about Israel and Palestine. But I thought Charles hit the right tone here, Paula, is that we've got to somehow get back to being able to, I've said this a lot on the show, to get back to understanding that what free speech means is respect and tolerance for people's views, even if you really disagree with them.
And a responsibility for yourself in terms of what you are saying. So if you're advocating free speech, then by all means remember that you also have a responsibility, don't you, in terms of what it is that you want to communicate to the other person. I think King Charles absolutely nailed it. And it's what was needed, because quite frankly, we're not getting that from our politicians, and we're not getting that from our Prime Minister.
I mean, sometimes the sheer volume of it just absolutely takes your breath away, doesn't it? I mean, when you're in the public eye, as you are and I am to a lesser extent, you grow used to the kind of base level of viciousness and unpleasantness and always the attribution of the wrong motives. You know, the impugning of one's integrity. Whatever one is saying or whatever point is being argued, it must be about your private
Well, I had a guest earlier saying that I was a propagandist for the Israeli government. When I actually told him, well, who am I doing the propaganda for? He didn't actually want to say that again.
Right.
Because he knows that's ridiculous. Obviously, I'm not. And the questioning of all people in the last 10 days would show that. But I've been struck by people taking clips from interviews that I've done with whoever it may be, Bassam Youssef or the Palestinian ambassador, whoever it is, taking clips and then deliberately twisting the meaning of those clips and putting that out as fact, and them getting 10 million views for what is a lie whilst calling me a liar. I mean, it's quite shocking.
It is
and I'm not quite sure how you stop it.
It's really, really difficult. So you push back and they'll clip that and distort it again. And it's been hugely important already in this conflict. I was just looking at some figures, more than 40,000 fake accounts promoting pro-Hamas narratives. And ordinary people, quite understandably, it's hard enough for those of us that have supposedly got some expertise, find it very, very hard to distinguish some of this stuff.
Absolutely.
I know lots of journalists who are just not putting their head over the parapet in this. They don't want to face the blowback.
I get it.
You know, I'm not in that position. I'm a strident person by nature. I call things as I see them. I don't come at things from a partisan position.
Important, can I say?
And you have to do it, but
it's important that you
I've got to tell you,
continue to
it
do
is
that.
full on. It's full on. We've got to leave it there. Thank you both very much indeed. I appreciate it.